never thought I would put this thing back in, but two reasons. One, I'm going to Europe and I don't want European problems. Oh my God, the base is gone. The other reason is, as you guys know, I had the popping and banging problem, for which I installed those rings are on my carb funnels. Well, I can tell you, they didn't solve the problem of the pops and the bangs, but certainly they're an important installation. Certainly they're an important installation to seal the airbox to the carbs, but they didn't stop my pops and bangs. What's up, people? How's everyone doing? Welcome to yet another episode of Beans Bob. Another one where I won't be riding today. That's happening tomorrow. So today's video is about preparing this bike for a big journey, a big tour that starts in a few weeks. That's going to see me travel 4,000 kilometers just to start the adventure. I'll share more details about the adventure itself, and obviously I'll be doing videos along the way, at least I hope so, or I plan to. So I've been preparing this bike basically for that trip, and oh my goodness, when you do get into that kind of preparation, you realize how much there is to think about. So anyway, let's get right into it. I'm just going to talk through a couple of modifications for comfort, navigation, keeping an eye on critical pieces of information about the bike as I ride along, you know, all of the eventualities that I'm basically planning for. So let's get right into it with what is probably the most obvious thing, and that is this huge seat pad. So this thing, I have no idea what it's gonna be like. I only just installed it. It is a super rubbery kind of honeycomb structure. So yeah, I look forward to trying this out. Now, here's what I think is pretty cool about this. Listen to this. So it's actually got this kind of air cushion in here, which obviously when you sit down, you displace the air. But the whole idea is that this kind of keeps your butt cool and comfy and avoids sort of those horrible itchy, pinchy needles that you get when you've been sat on a saddle for so long. My saddle is actually quite comfy. It's got this, you know, top layer of some nice soft material, and obviously being much taller than the stock, you know, it's already quite a soft, good saddle, but I think this will just ensure that I don't have any complaints in that department. I quite like that it's wide. I assume that having the insides of my legs here might also be good. So anyway, so that's the first sort of travel modification, so to say. Right, the next one is this beast of a GPS mount, which I installed yesterday. I think this is pretty cool. I got a mirror mount, which I could mount there on the mirror, but it also fits quite well on the Barkbuster mount. And it has this whole sort of dampening, you know, anti-vibration thing built into it. So this is great, and obviously the fact that I can switch it into, you know, landscape mode versus portrait mode, I think is pretty cool. Right, this bad boy is a Bluetooth tire pressure monitoring system. And this comes with these two valve caps. There's one of them. And they transmit the tire's pressure and temperature via Bluetooth to this receiver, to this little monitor. And the monitor then shows your pressure and temperature, it shows the time. I can change the settings so that it's bar instead of PSI. I can also set an upper limit and a lower limit for temperature and pressure at which the device will start beeping quite loudly to warn me that I'm either losing tire pressure or that my tires are overheating. I mean, obviously the most important thing is the tire pressure. So I think just being on the road for weeks, you want to have little things like this to help. So I've mounted it here temporarily, although I do think this is going to be the final mounting position. But the reason I put it temporarily is because I'm about to move my bars higher up and forward. So I have a bar riser kit, including something that allows me to extend my brake line, assuming the bar riser of 3 centimeters, uses up all the slack in here. Right, so let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So these are from a German company. You can get these bar riser kits from a lot of different companies, but I thought just get some quality kit. So this is the brake line extender, which, as I said, I might need depending on how the bar risers affect the brake line. And these are the risers themselves. Check this out. Love it. Real Deutsche Qualität, German quality. So as you can see, they're offset. They're going to basically raise the bar up and forward. Okay. Let's see if all these cables and lines are going to give me any trouble and actually save me the hassle of installing that brake line extension. So that goes there. Now bear in mind, these bar risers work both ways. You can move your bar forwards, upwards and forwards, or if you turn them upside down, you can move them upwards and backwards to you. Okay, so now for the big moment of truth. All right, look at that. It would seem that my brake line just might have enough room. Look at that. So, like that, it's fine. It's got a little bit of play. But as soon as I tug like that, you can see it's starting to create an elbow here. And I don't like that. So, I do think, because I can't assume that the handlebar angle that I want is this. I would assume maybe it's that, but... So I think I need to look at installing the extension piece, this little piece. Okay, so here's my little brake line extension unit. And when I look at the design of the Africa, I'm thinking that I'm going to remove that one and then install this in between there. I'll be using this to seal that, right? So basically that's going in like that. And then the hose will go in there. That kind of makes sense to me. So I'm gonna give that a go now. Okay. I think that's good enough to catch whatever's coming out of this guy. Right, so I see we have a locking nut. Okay, so I've cracked the nut and I'm hoping, like I said, that there is some kind of valve in there that's going to prevent this from becoming a very messy job. Look at that. No spill yet. Alright, let's keep that brake line up there. So this is the guy that I have to get off now. Okay. Yes, there's a kind of valve in there. Excellent, so far so good. So going from this way and that way, there we go. Surely it's the same size, screw and pitch of thread. Aye, what's going on? Doesn't seem like it's the right pitch. Alright, first thing, let's just see if it's the right pitch. No, it's not. I can see that it's not when I compare these two. Aye, aye, aye. It's not the same thread pattern. As soon as I go in one rev, it sticks. What a shame. What a shame. Okay. It is what it is. What a shame. I was looking forward to a nice little modification here. But hey. Okay guys, so now that I know, I don't have much of a choice, and I just have to carefully make sure there is a bit of room here. So I'll do that by adjusting the handlebars. But now I have to get pressure back in the brake system. So I'm just gonna have to keep doing this and waiting to build up pressure. There's a lot of air in there. Oh, look at that. There's still no pressure whatsoever. So by twisting the handlebars left and right, I've been getting more and more of the air out. And now I'm getting some nice pressure on the lever. Okay, so a good 100 tugs later, and I'm not getting any more bubbles. There's no more air in the system. Nice pressure on the lever. So, all right, just gonna top this up a little bit more and then cover this up. So guys, unfortunately, that little pretty looking thing was the wrong thread pitch, and therefore I can't use it. But all hope is not lost, because it is not the worst fit so far. Let me show you what I mean. If I kind of, obviously without testing this, I'll take this for a ride in a minute, but if I just sit and imagine sort of what the angle of these handlebars should be, I want to say something like this. I feel this is right. I feel this is similar to what I had before. And when I do this, I have, you see how the brake line is flexing with the angle of the handlebars. So ideally it would have this kind of elbow, but I am going to kind of make it a little bit taut. It's going to feel different for sure. Everything's going to feel different about this bike. The seating position with this giant pad, these much taller risers. I'm going to start with this, just this amount, this angle. Go for a little test ride around the block just to see if it feels completely outlandish. And if I look at the standing position, oh, this actually feels so much better already. This just feels so much more natural. Wow. Oh, this is a big difference. I should have had these risers for a long time. I've checked the clearances of the clutch cable, my little voltmeter here. Everything seems to be okay. All right, let's take this thing for a test ride and just see what's up. My arms feel weird. They feel so high up. It might be that these want to be angled, that the handlebars really want to be more angled towards me. an amazing standing position here. It is very noticeable. What's up? Good. I just installed bar risers and I'm testing it. It feels so different.
What did you install?
These bar risers.
Ah.
They lift the handlebars up and forward away from me. You see that?
Yeah.
By like 3 centimeters.
How does it feel?
Weird. After 2 years of riding like pretty low. And the thing is, when you're stood, it's not right. You want, you know, I'm just too tall and look how long my arms are. So this is probably what it feels like for a regular sized guy. Anyway, how you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Just installing tiles.
All right, do your thing. See you, man. Wow. Woohoo! I have to say, I'm loving it so far. I think I'm happy for now, but this is okay. I can't see, you know, if you look at this right now, this isn't taut in a way that is damaging. The other thing I will do, is I will slide this entire assembly inwards. That's pretty smart. And that will give me a little bit more play, more room to play with and angle the handlebars just that little bit more towards me. That's a good one. All right, let's do that. This is actually potentially going to be the best idea ever. Look at that. That's a whopping, that's a whole centimeter that I can just claw back. Nice. I never tighten these too much because I want to be able to adjust it depending on if I'm sitting or standing. Right, so I just won back a lot more play from my brake line. So now I can angle my handlebar just that little bit more backwards to what I think is more natural. I take the slack out of the brake line that I just created by moving my levers inwards. Take that slack back, angle this a little bit more towards me. I'm happy that that part that didn't fit is not really a problem, because you know what it's like. You get a part that doesn't fit and your entire plan is screwed. Like you literally have to just abandon whatever you're doing and start again when you get a replacement. So, and now guys, check out the finishing touch. Don't you just love when a product ships some little cool, thoughtful stuff with it? Probably lose all of these in a matter of weeks, but for now I'm loving this whole black look on my golden handlebar. Loving it. she feels even taller. For a bike that was already quite tall, look at this. She's prouder, more imposing, more majestic. She's more queen than before.